Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being here to attend our webinar this morning regarding um, our EB5 project, Arte at the district, as well as discussing the latest development with respect to EB5 and the investment migration to the US. So for this presentation, I'm very pleased to introduce my good friend Phuong from KLDP, who will discuss with us regarding the immigration aspect and the latest development on EB5. And I will then, following up on the presentation of the high unemployment project, Arte of the district, and the latest progress with respect to this project. So just to go through the different topics that we will talk today. So a quick introduction about myself. So I'm the president of Eterna International, and I'm here this morning to represent EB5IM. EB5IM is wholly owned by Eterna and is an American company that is basically focused on fund management and NCE management in the US. So our group is started, and most of you might know Eterna. Our group is a financial conglomerate. We are in business since 1928, and we are involved primarily in fund management, which is our core business. But of course, we've been involved in EB5 for many years, starting in 2011. And some of you have already recruited some of our EB5 clients, and we're very proud to say that all of our project clients got their capital return. So Arte at the district is our first project post RIA. We're very proud of it, and we'll have the chance to introduce you some of the main features of the project. Phuong, may I ask you to introduce yourself? I think you're the best person to do that.
Sure. Look, thank you for having me back on, Nicholas. Always good to see you and the Eterna team. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. My name is Phuong Le. I am one of the partners at KLDP. We are essentially an EB5 specialist firm. I've been practicing for 20 years, and I think EB5 is basically 99% of our business, right? So we work with investors around the world. China, India, certainly Vietnam. And actually, I'll be in Vietnam later this month. So hopefully, I'll see some of you there as well. So we are probably one of the more active firms in the industry. We travel, we speak, we write, we publish all over the world. We're on TV. We are commonly voted by our peers as top 25 attorneys in the industry. But that's our background. We like what we do. We expect to be doing it for quite a while, and hopefully we'll have a chance to work with a number of you folks out there. Oh, you're gonna jump straight into this, huh, Nicholas? No fun stuff, just serious memos, huh? So today, okay. Okay. So I know Nicholas has some exciting news to share about his project. So today, hopefully, I'll give some context about this new I-45 policy memo that just came out, and hopefully calm everyone down a little bit. So a few weeks ago in the U.S., the Trump administration released this new AOS policy memo, and like they always like to do, they like to release these memos on a Friday, right, to ruin everyone's weekend. But it caused a lot of stress. It caused a lot of anguish in the U.S. because people were unsure what this meant. They weren't unsure if this meant that if you now are filing EB5, that you can no longer do the I-45 in the U.S. anymore, which is a big deal because essentially what that would ruin for a lot of people is that it will prevent you from filing in the U.S., beginning your life there, getting a work permit, getting a travel document. But what we found out is, we don't think that this policy memo really goes after EB5 investors, nor does it go after people like H-1B or L1 workers. This is really meant for the Trump administration to really attack people who they think are here illegally or who they think have abused non-immigrant visas like a B1 or B2 or have a history of violating these visas. So for our clients, for the most part, what we've told people is if you have entered the US, you have maintained lawful status, you are not a criminal, we expect you to be able to file for adjustment of status and stay in the US. Um, the two other things I want people to remember that's very important is that the ability to file for adjustment of status for EB5 is guaranteed by statute, right? And the reason why that's important is statute overrides any kind of policy memo, such as this one that's been released. The only one that can override a statute is Congress themselves. And from our connections in Washington, D.C., nobody in Congress wants to overrule this. So I think for the time being, I know there's a lot of scary news out there, but for the most part, we expect our investors to be fine. Okay. The other thing is for those of you who are wondering, let me see. So for those of you who are wondering, there's a on top of that, the administration also clarified that same day that even though they released this policy memo, due to a lot of pushback from the EB5 industry, due to a lot of pushback from the H-1B industry, the Trump administration clarified that if you provide an economic benefit, then you will most likely will be able to adjust in the U.S. EB5 provides an economic benefit. You're coming over here, you're investing $800,000, creating lots of jobs, creating lots of economic benefits for the U.S. So we think everyone here would be safe. One more quick point before I turn it back over to Nicholas, and then we can answer any more questions during Q&A. But unfortunately, the Trump administration has this habit of, even though something might be wrong or illegal, they might release that law anyways, right? Only to get it ruled back or turned back later on. We just saw this happen actually today. A number of you may have heard about the new H-1B $100,000 fee, right? Which came out of nowhere also on a Friday. After a lot of pushback, after a lot of fighting, it turns out that a judge ruled that policy that they came out with illegal, wrong. They vacated, which means that they erased it from the law. So there is no longer a $100,000 H-1B fee. Part of it is because they said Trump created the fee illegally. Only Congress can do it, and so they clawed it back. We expect something very similar to come for the AOS policy memo. So for a short time being, I know it can be stressful for a lot of people. Number two, we expect EB5 to be okay, right? And we'll talk to each of you on an individual basis. And number three, we expect it to be rolled back anyway. So, I think in the end, Nicholas, it's stressful right now, but I think everyone will be okay.
Right. Thank you very much, Hong. So that's very enlightening, actually. You're right. We have to learn to live with the uncertainty of the Trump administration, and most often than not, their policy that makes us all freak out. I'm sorry to use that expression, is usually reversed or simply forgotten. I just remember last year when Secretary Lutnick came up with the gold card that was supposed to replace EB5, then the H-1B, then the 486.
So dumb. So dumb.
I think it's a little bit difficult for agents to keep their cool, but I think we're building an immune system against that, right? So we'll just quickly jump in the project, and everybody who's attending, and thank you very much again for being here this morning, this afternoon. We'll have the chance to revert back to Phuong at the end of this presentation. If you guys have any questions, you can either write them in the chat right now so that you don't forget them, or you can just ask us at the end of the presentation. So basically, the reason why we decided to meet with you today is to go through the impact of those policy changes on project selection and what does it mean for EB5 investors, right? So we wanted to do it now because the Arte at the District project, and I'm sure most of you have been introduced to that project through our BDs in Vietnam, China, and around the world, has just received its 956F approval on May 18, so a couple of weeks ago. So that is something that became over the last few months a requirement in the industry, and for good reason, considering the September 30 deadline for the grandfathering, a lot of investors will ask for the approval of the 956S as a condition to the project selection. So we're very happy to announce you that our project got it, and the USCIS has not even asked us any questions about the project before issuing it. So when it comes to the project itself, the first thing that our clients are asking us is where it is, what it is, and how real it is, right? So Arte, the district, is located in downtown West Palm Beach, which is one of the biggest city in Florida. This is a boom city. The project itself is a mixed-use residential commercial project located about 5 minutes from downtown. So if you are in Ho Chi Minh City, this is basically District 2, or even closer to District 2, just beside the zoo, basically. That gives you an idea how close it is from the CBD of West Palm Beach. The construction has started in February 2024, and this is one of the aspects our investors like the most about our project. The construction is on time, it's on target, and will be completed in August 2026, so a few months from now. And we'll see it during this presentation, but so far, the whole construction was 100% financed by developer equity and by senior loan. So EB5 has not been necessary so far. The developer, which is a very serious partner, has basically shouldered the cost of developing that project. So West Palm Beach, the reason why Eterna has decided to go for this project as our first post-RIA project is the location. So West Palm Beach has basically become what they call the Wall Street of the South since COVID. A lot of company has moved out of New York from the East Coast and resettled in West Palm Beach because of the tax preferential treatment in the States. And the project itself has been initiated by the government of West Palm Beach, by the city government. They have made a tender to have projects from developers, and our developer has won that bid to develop that piece of land that belongs to the government. Why did the government make that bid? Is because the occupation rate in West Palm Beach in that area reaches about 96% for residential. So there's some sort of a housing crisis. So the developer has had access to this government land at a very preferential price, as long as they were completing the project on time. So these are just a few facts on Beachwald, which is the main developer of that project. This is a company that has been in business for the last 40 years. They are focused on residential projects. They are managing over 16,000 units, completed about 5,000 all across the East Coast of the United States. And they have also partnered with Emo Corp in Florida, which is a South Florida specialized developer of grade A with 20 years of experience and with a lot of local contact, particularly with the government. The cap stack is also extremely healthy. So we're talking about an EB5 contribution of 17%, which is currently all covered by bridge loan, and a senior loan with a bank, major regional bank, which brings 59% of the equity of the construction cost. So for that point, this is what our agents are asking. A lot of projects do not have senior lenders in their project, and what our agents and investor likes about it is that it has gone through the very strict due diligence of financial institution, of a bank, and they have completely approved that project. And as a matter of fact, they are already positioned to refinance the project once it's completed and stabilized, and we'll talk about the refinancing shortly later. EB5 comes in second as a second creditor with 17%. So far the developer has bridged that contribution so that the project has continued on time and on target. So these are some of the pictures of the construction. So it started in August 2024, and now we're in June. And as you can see, the project is nearly completed, and it will be completed in August. The job creation, as of today, all of the required jobs have been created. If we are taking into account the RIMS 2 expenditure model, so all of the jobs that are required for EB5 have been created. In fact, we're looking for 40 investors, 400 jobs. And according to the latest expenditure assessment, the project has already created 800 jobs, which is twice the amount required. And the reason is simple. 94% of the jobs in this project are created by construction. And as you can see, the construction is going very smoothly, right? We have also set up a lot of safeguard for the investors. This is what we have been requested to do. So we have appointed Baker Tilly as our independent fund administrator. We have close relationship with the government of West Palm Beach. The land belongs to the government, and they have promised a grant of $1 million once the project is completed. The refinancing is on track. We also can show documentation to your investors to confirm that financial institution has stepped in and confirmed the qualification of the project for refinancing. As a matter of fact, this is very special, but our project can provide written confirmation to your investors that their EB5 money will be refunded upon refinancing of the project. So in that project, we're talking about an investment of only 2 years, despite the fact that the PPM is talking about 3 years plus one. In this project, we are in a position to confirm that as an NCE manager, we will not delay the refund of the EB5 money if there is a refinancing in place. So as long as the sustainment period of 2 years is respected, the money will be refunded probably in record time in 2 years. So that is the presentation. We didn't want to drown you in details of the project, but just to summarize, this project has those following features that our investors are looking for. The job creation has been created already. 9526 has been approved. The construction is about to be finished, and we're looking at a refinancing that has been qualified by financial institution that will likely take place right after the sustainment period required by USCIS has been fulfilled. So thank you very much for your time. Now, I would like to go to questions, if you guys have any. We're going to go to our Q&A.
Before you jump into questions, Nicolas, there's one thing I wanted to highlight because it doesn't happen very often in these projects, right? And so you mentioned that not only you guys almost done, because I want to make this clear. You already have a partner, or the project has already identified a partner who is committed to refinancing once it's done, right? Like, can you go into more detail about that? Because that's not normal.
That is very rare, actually. So JLL Capital Market is a financial institution that has worked with Beachworld very closely. In the last 7 years, JLL has originated for over $1 billion of loan to Beachworld for their latest project. They have looked at Arte at the district, at our project, and they have issued a letter confirming that this project is qualified for the refinancing program. So actually, the developer is very impatient to refinance the program because this is a program that benefits from very special financing conditions because it's a residential project and the government is supporting the refinancing of residential project through the Freddie Mac in Fannie Mae program. So basically, the refinancing is half the cost of EB5 financing. So actually, our big challenge is to make them accept our EB5 money because they would be in position to refinance within about a year to a year and a half. So they will keep the EB5 money for 2 years. And after that, they really want to refund the EB5 money, which is very, very, very rare. And as an NCE manager, Eterna is willing to issue that letter to our investors confirming the advanced repayment of their EB5 money.
So basically, you're saying like an official side letter saying that there's going to be, I see, that will repay within whenever they refi, right?
Yeah, because the logic is very simple, guys. The NCE manager is the entity that manages the EB5 funds, makes sure that the money is invested in the right way, monitors the project, and the remuneration of the NCE is based on partially based on the loan income. So the longer the loan is, the more money the NCE is making. Eterna is a billion and a half dollar financial conglomerate. For us, EB5 is one of our projects, and our target is not necessarily to press the limit as long as possible, but to build a pipeline of clients and to reinforce our reputation. And for us, we don't see any other way, any better way to reinforce our reputation than to do quick repayment of our EB5 investors. So this is our corporate vision. This is how we will apply it in this EB5 project.